Hello everybody and welcome to Tusi TV, your global news channel. I'm Maya Tusi, and the US Democrats have now been implicated in the investigation over the attack outside the White House a few days ago. We're going to give you guys the latest update on this as we now have more information about the people behind the Afghan attacker, not just of course the couple who were housing him, but who was actually funding these individuals, including the Afghan terrorists. It's time to name and shame some individuals, and it's time to actually expose the problem inside the system and of course a party that calls itself Democratic. Now, we will get your reaction live. Don't forget, it's Black Friday. Yeah, it's that time of the year again, which means I'm gonna have to go bankrupt just to make you guys happy. Yes, 50% off annual memberships of Tusi TV Plus if you use the promo code Friday50. Just go on tusi.tv, find the link in the description, Friday50. Now, let's talk about the attacker, the terrorist who has now been charged with a first-degree murder. And we'll find out exactly about his trial and all the information that will come out. But we're going to talk about the couple who were housing him and the family, and also the organizations that were funding the resettlement programs or schemes. Or it's not really a scheme, it was a scam. But these guys are political. They're not just philanthropists. They're not just charitable people. They have a political agenda. So first, let's talk about Stan Creighton. The Creighton family, the couple, Stan and Valerie. Stan is a founder of the National Vet Associates. It's a massive vet empire that's worth billions of dollars. Alongside Valerie, they took in Rahmanullah Lakanwal and his family, which again we'll discuss the problem with that, when he arrived from Afghanistan. Just as a reminder, he wasn't supposed to be part of Operation Welcome Allies or Allies Welcome. He wasn't a direct helper of the US military side in Afghanistan. He was working with CIA and some guerrilla campaign groups who were against the Taliban, but it wasn't part of it. That's why Joe Biden basically renamed the scheme to allow people like Rahmanullah to get into the United States. But then they also allowed their families to come without vetting their background. So these guys were housed by Stan and Valerie. Now that's clear. But it gets worse. Every single step that I'm going to explain to you guys, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Firstly, these guys put a roof over the heads of Rahmanullah and his family in Bellingham, in Washington. And they also set up a GoFundMe page. Now this is the interesting part. There was a GoFundMe page that has now been deleted, despite the fact that Stan and Valerie, and obviously Rahmanullah, they were making money anyway. They were getting paid. Now, we're going to talk about the financial backers, but they also took money from, again, charitable individuals who thought that they should help them. It's a fundraiser. Of course, we're going to have to help all the refugees, all the migrants, right? But did they actually need the money on top of everything else that they were already getting? Where is the money? That aside, Stan and Valerie are not, as I said, just two civilians. They are political people, members of the Democrats, and donors, party donors. FEC records now show that Valerie made dozens of donations over the years to Act Blue, Hillary for America, Obama for America, Joe Ossoff, and Kamala Harris. The Kamala Harris Victory Fund, by the way, if you guys don't remember, the Harris Victory Fund was a very successful fundraising campaign, as you guys can tell, right? There were hundreds of small contributions to not stand out. So you can see $150, $100, $250, $25, $50, $47, $250, blah, blah, blah. And it was regular payments to different types of groups who were all obviously linked to the same cause. Now, nothing wrong with that. People are political. Of course, those who are political and part of the Democrats would be doing something as stupid as this. But not only that, I will explain the funders behind them. Obviously, it's in the title of the video, George Soros' organizations. But the fact that there was a GoFundMe page that has now been completely removed and deleted. They also received money from random people. These people are rich. They are very, very loaded. Valerie and Stan. They have 900 general practice clinics across the country and a house in Bellingham in Washington that's worth $2.6 million. Now, if they care, they would offer to pay for the funeral costs and the healthcare costs of the 2 National Guard soldiers who were shot by their friend. Are they going to do that? No, because they've now gone into hiding. Valerie and Stan, they've been busy, as you can see, promoting and advocating for open borders, fighting against border security, and fighting against President Trump actually trying to stop this nonsense. Valerie said in 2018, 2/3 of non-religious Americans believe the country has a responsibility to refugees. What responsibility is that? Why? Only a quarter of evangelicals believe the same. I was shocked by this. My husband, who also had his religious family members, was not. So they were already, they were pretty active, politically speaking, for years and years. That's what they also funded and donated to Obama's campaign. But it gets worse because the GoFundMe page is now gone. That wasn't necessarily needed, was it? Not just because they are rich and if they were generous, they could have just used their own money, but there was already a funding for the settlement scheme. And it goes to World Relief. They are sponsored, these guys, by World Relief, the same organization that sponsored the Afghan family who stayed with Stan and Valerie. That's what Valerie says. The Soros-linked NGO, World Relief, funded the settlement. Again, wow, what a shock. Surprise, surprise. But World Relief, this is the problem of the cycle of corruption that just goes round and round. It's basically a cycle of doom. So just remember again, the rich couple who have enough money to be charitable get money from World Relief. Well, the Afghan would get the money. They also have a GoFundMe page. But who funds World Relief? Well, you think George Soros is generous? No, because George Soros and now his son who's in charge, Alex Soros, at the time it was George, now it's Alex, they also steal money from the American taxpayer. Until recently, because President Trump stopped it. World Relief has received tens of millions of US taxpayer dollars through the USAID in recent years. Tens of millions. Technically, that means, and literally, that means that the taxpayers in the US paid not just for Rahmanullah, but also his family and relatives who just came without being vetted, without knowing they paid. But also, they were hit with a GoFundMe page to then pay again. So double payment. So some people were foolish enough to do that and to pay. Now Valerie Creighton has now deleted her Facebook page. She and her husband, Stan, now appear to be in Costa Rica. So they're not in America now anymore. Now, there's a lot of connections between them and other members of the US Democrats. That's not going to be obviously investigated by the Democrats themselves, obviously, but the FBI are escalating and widening the investigation overall. Now, we do have obviously sad updates, which you probably already heard by now, which is that Sarah Beckstorm, one of the National Guard soldiers who was shot, unfortunately has died. Her father, Gary, said, "My baby girl has passed to glory. If I don't talk to you, don't be offended. This has been a horrible tragedy. Now, of course, our thoughts and prayers are with the family. President Trump also made a statement when he was told, just before, obviously, he went to speak to the media and the public, which we can show you now.
Yesterday, we literally had no incidents for many months. It was the safest place imaginable, and this is a different kind of crime. This is a really bad crime. Millions of Americans are praying for those heroes and their families, and I must unfortunately tell you that just seconds before I went on, right now, I heard that Sarah Beckstrom of West Virginia, one of the guardsmen that we're talking about, highly respected, young, magnificent person, started service in June of 2023, outstanding in every way. She's just passed away. She's no longer with us. She's looking down at us right now. Her parents are with her. It's just happened. She was savagely attacked. She's dead. She's not with us. Incredible person. Outstanding in every single way, in every department. That's horrible. As you know, the other young man is fighting for his life. He's in very bad shape. He's fighting for his life, and hopefully we'll get better news with respect to him. And the monster that did this is also in serious condition. But we won't even talk about him. As you may know, DHS has confirmed that the...
Yeah. Obviously, it's a sad time for the family, but it's also a sad time for the lovely people of the United States. This shouldn't happen to soldiers on American soil, in the capital of the country. Now, there has been a lot more reaction here. We have Michael saying, I have a daughter in the army. I will be crushed. As I said, it shouldn't happen. And not only it shouldn't happen on American soil in their capital city, but also certain things could easily be prevented. If a soldier signs up and they have been shipped to Iraq or Afghanistan and things are happening there, obviously it's part of their service and they would sacrifice their lives. But National Guard troops, technically, in terms of formality, just guarding the city. The worst that they were supposed to be dealing with is a couple of troublemakers trying to protest and a couple of random criminals going around stealing cars. That was the point of it. They shouldn't have happened. This could have been prevented if Rahmanullah hadn't been let into America by Joe Biden. This isn't the same as sacrificing your life. This would have easily not happened. Firstly, if Biden hadn't randomly withdrawn from Afghanistan despite the intelligence that came last minute, he still decided to do it because he didn't know what he was doing. It wasn't him deciding, it was people like Obama behind. But at the same time, I would like to see how the FBI investigation leads to any sort of repercussions for, again, even the family of Rahmanullah, who said that one of his friends said that actually his wife and his kids they didn't hear from him for a while. Well, that's a red flag, considering that they knew that he was about to be deported. They should have alerted the authorities. Accessories. It's obvious that they should go as well, but that's not the point. It's about the fact that you need to actually find out who is responsible, as well as people like Soros and people like, obviously, the Democrats in general. Each individual. Colleen says, we people here in the United States are just so fed up with everything, we can't trust anyone except for each other. Live in Oregon. Go to Portland to counter protests the libtards. Good on you. Good. Yes, send them all back. Send them back. Hey, they shouldn't be there. They weren't even supposed to be part of. Firstly, the scheme that they created, the Operation Allies Welcome, that was already flawed. But the withdrawal from Afghanistan, that's flawed. The original scheme, flawed, shouldn't have happened. But when they also created it, these guys weren't supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to apply to these guys, to Rahmanullah and people like him. Brandon says, Candace and Tucker working overtime to connect this to Israel. But that's why you don't really see any urgency from people like Candace Owens to do an investigation like what we did here and talk about this. They don't care. I mean, no Jews, no news. And if they can't blame the FBI or Kash Patel, they don't care. Andrea says, this makes me even prouder to say that I will be starting Police Academy in May to serve the great state of Florida. Thank you for your service, Sarah. Absolutely. Well done, Andreas. Yes, good luck, best of luck with everything as you would start soon, well, in a few months, in May. Now, Democrats. George Soros is the ultimate Democrat. He hates the whole idea of America and freedom. But now, the thing is that people like George Soros himself, he's let's just say he's damaged, right? And psychotic because of his background and his upbringing and everything else, right? Also, mostly his genetics. His son, Alex, would be more dangerous, but for different reasons. Alex Soros was born and raised in a very comfortable environment, wealthy family, with great social connections. He didn't go through what his dad had to go through. His dad, George, had to start from scratch, right? And from day one, he was stabbing people in the back to get to the top, to get to power and influence. Alex just had it on a silver platter. Just easy. Given to him from day one. Which means, number one, he's not as hard as George Soros, but he's now smarter because he belongs to the modern age. Do not underestimate the influence of Alex Soros. Don't just look at him as a spoiled, privileged kid of George. Alex is now in charge. George is gone. Well, publicly he's gone, but he's still there behind the scenes. And one day he will die. I don't know if he chooses to die, because I don't think he wants to die anytime soon. George Soros is currently 200 years old. But eventually he's going to go, and Alex will be fully in charge. If you think that they're going to go away, if you think that the influence of that family and that circle is just going to vanish, you'll be mistaken, because he's now going to be upgraded. He's going to upgrade the way they operate around the world differently. On a very different level, weird analogy to use is comparing Vito Corleone to Michael Corleone. He upgraded the Corleone family after Vito's death to a whole new operation to try to legitimize it. Got involved with the political circle. Told you, weird analogy, but it works. And Chris says, do you still get the Black Friday discount if you're white? It's not Black Friday, it's African American Friday. Well, white people, you get less. Gingers, you only get 5%. Kidding. Of course, everybody is welcome. We believe in actual equality on 2CTV. So, whether you're black or purple or green, join 2CTV Plus. Use the promo code Friday50 to get 50% off annual memberships, not monthly, annual memberships of 2CTV Plus. Just go on 2C.tv or just find the direct link in the description and put the coupon code in the coupon box at the bottom of the registration page. Here we go. It's Ethnic Friday. That's how you... my favorite thing was about the libtards. Was that a few years ago they came up with the... What was it? Yeah, I need to get the order right. So I think, yeah, they said you have to say person of color and people of color. And then they changed their mind because they realized that's actually unintentionally racist. And then they said something else. But basically, it's been changing. Oh, no. Somebody in the live chat remind me. No, what's the thing that has an acronym? They mix. Oh, BAME. 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 They initially said BAME. BAME. And then they said, no, don't say that anymore. Then they came up with person of color, people of color. Like, you just made it more racist, you idiots. You can't do that. You're like, well, yeah, BAME, you can't say BAME anymore. Well, I don't know why. Just, you came up with it. You created it. And now they say you have to say person of color, which is basically racist, right? And they also have the same thing with they came up with the word woke. Woke is the creation of that side. And they were proud to be woke. Kamala Harris says she's proud to be woke. And now they say, you can't say woke. Now woke is racist. Also, to be fair, because they overused woke, the political right got slightly confused. Now people on the right, they call everybody woke. So anyone who's like liberal or left wing, depending on what they're talking about, or if they say this, they say that's woke. If they say this, like no, woke had a very specific meaning. It was about skin color and race. It was about the critical race theory nonsense. Not if somebody says, I would like to drink avocado coffee. That's not woke. That's just being crazy. That's being insane. And if someone says, well, climate change, well, we are going to die in 2 years. That was Greta Thunberg. She said it about 50 years ago. That's not woke. But everything is woke now. I miss the days when we used to actually just say snowflakes and weirdos. Bullyable people. Bring back bullying. It's the only way they can man up and woman up. Don't forget about the women. You can bully everyone. Equality. Anyway, everyone declared international state of emergent. Okay. Adam, I know what he's going to say. Adam is a regular viewer. I haven't even read the comments. I know what he's going to say. 75%, right? Research, House of Orange. Soros, Rockefellers regarding low on the totem. Staying faithfully yours at 75% off. Adam, one of these days, seriously, I'm not going to give you a 75% discount for 2CTV Plus. Makes wonder if the Afghan list in the UK was deliberately released. Oh, I forgot about that scandal. Oh, that was a whole different mess where the whole list was completely leaked. And the authorities, the whole story went away, by the way, because there were a number of people who were supposed to be thrown under the bus for leaking. But nope. Because they basically openly leaked it. They openly released it. So I'm not really sure what happened with that anymore, because they didn't really continue any level of communication with the public. So yeah, the whole list was leaked, which was slightly scandalous. Carter says, well, woke is racist in the woke mind of the left. Everything is racist if you're left wing. There we go. We have a lovely patriot who believes in freedom and America. Says, I just joined 2CTV. Well, I hope you mean 2CTV Plus, because this is 2CTV. Yes, brilliant. Welcome to the gang. Everybody join 2CTV Plus, our independent streaming service and platform. And of course, if you can join that, then you have to also download the app. The 2CTV app. You can stay informed throughout the day with all the news posts and updates, and of course the podcast, which the new episode will be coming out Monday, I think. The new 2C Talks podcast, which again you can watch and listen to on the app and on the website. But if you want to use the promo code, you can only use it on the website, not the app. If you get anything on the app, it's going to go through your app stores, Apple or Android. Nothing to do with me. So I can't. If you're unhappy, I can't refund you. It's up to you. But if you do on the website, it goes directly to our system, which is a lot easier. So yeah, use the promo code on the website, not the app. And then you can use the login details on the app. Anyway. What is going on with the chat has frozen? Oh, it's back. Okay. It's Friday. YouTube is tired. It's falling apart. I'm waiting to see which Democrats selected the shooter, then paid for his ticket to America. Oh, I know that one. Joseph. His name was Joseph. His name was Joseph. He was a showgirl Yeah, Biden. 73 goats. It's not 73 goats. You can't just add a goat to it. It's 72 virgin goats. Where's the extra additional goat coming in? Yeah, they already encouraged the jihadis to take their own lives just to get 72 virgin goats. If you say 73, more of them are going to do it. I don't know what they're going to do with the extra one, but maybe you can just sit around and watch the show. I don't know. Again, my thoughts and prayers go to all virgin goats out there. Blue Sapphire says 75% will come upon us when the IRGC falls. You know what? Don't dare me. You just dared me. Challenge accepted. I decided. The moment the Islamic Republic of Iran, or I'm going to give myself a challenge. A few different scenarios. If the Islamic Republic falls, I will give you 75%. If Venezuela, when Venezuela and Maduro, who is, for the record, despite what Tucker Carlson says, that Maduro is a conservative, Maduro is a communist dictator. Don't listen to Tucker. When Maduro falls, I will also give you guys a 75% discount, but there is a condition. It will only be for a few hours. So you have to watch the live stream on that day on time. So the only way you could do that is to click on that little notification bell next to the subscribe button and click on all, not personalized. And just hope for the best. If you miss it, you miss it. Yeah. Blue Sapphire says, I want us to deal. Have you not joined 2CV Plus yet? Blue Sapphire, you've been watching this channel for 50 years. Seriously. If you haven't joined by now, I'm gonna put it in the system. Everybody can take advantage of the 75% discount, except for you. And don't try to change your username. We're gonna hack your system. We're gonna find out who you are. I don't know who you are. Don't know what you do. But I have a set of skills. I have Candace Owens on side. She doesn't know, but she knows. She will hunt you down. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. So I think it's probably best, considering it's Friday night, all the cool kids are out, but I'm inside because I'm married. Yeah. Anyway, join 2CTV Plus. Use the promo code Friday50. If you are still unsure, just go on the website 2C.tv. Just check it out for yourself. See what you're going to get out of it. I'm Maya 2C, and we are the media.